Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to start the series of A levels chemistry, and our target is to achieve or complete the unit number 1 till coming December. I hope you guys will stay tuned, and those who cannot take the sessions from Academy, also we advise them to stay at least connected over here so that we can help them out to crack the A levels examination that we used to did in the IGCSE or GCSE exam. So without a further delay, let's start the chapter. Today we are going to start the chapter which is IB, or writing the chemical equations. When it comes to writing up the chemical equations, the mess created students in mind is that they are always confused how to balance the equation. The ideal practice is to simply learn to count the number of atoms, then you will be gradually able to count the or balance the equation. So writing the formula for the names, you should be those people who are unfamiliar with the compounds. Simply, compounds are those molecules who are made by the bonding between two or three different elements. When it comes to the molecule of compound, the necessity is that two or three different elements should be, two or three different atoms even should be bonded together to give rise to molecule of compound. When it comes to molecule of element, they could be of the same, they could be of same nature, same atoms could even make the molecule of an element. Now simply we can memorize their names. Even you should be most probably clear with the formulae of an of element basically, as per given in the periodic table. Now first condition, the most common confusion people feel is that the oxygen. When it comes to an oxygen, they feel confusion about O2. When it comes to an O2, and O2 is the one who is going to be available as oxygen element. Sometimes they are confused that okay, oxygen is here, but oxygen refers to, so when this oxygen is available as O2, it refers to a diatomic structure. It means that two atoms of oxygens are bonded together. When it refers to an oxygen, it's simply an atom of oxygen. Usually we try to skip this in order to balance the equation. There you can see clearly when it comes to a hydrogen peroxide, they are mentioning it as O2 because there are two hydrogen atoms who are required to balance this guy. For this one we will see later on. Now when it comes to a hydrogen is H2, it's not H. Since all of them are the diatomic structures in which they would be needing two atoms to bond it together, two atoms to stay closer to each other. Water is H2O. Sodium hydroxide is available. There you can clarify the symbol that there is NaOH. Why is it so? Because Na refers to the sodium. It's not oxygen and hydrogen. Simply it's a molecule which is called as the hydroxide molecule. So first case conditioning is that sodium can donate one electron, and hydroxide can accept one electron. So that is why +1 -1 refers to the acceptance and donation of one electron from each guy. That is why they are neutral. We are not required to write up any number earlier than these two elements, or what you call the compound, one molecule even. Referring to nitric acid, which is HNO3, it's its formula. You have to write it down completely. Now you should be able to work out that the iron sulfate is here. Why is it iron 2 sulfate here? Because when it refers to SO4 iron, it requires -2 electrons. It needs 2 electrons. When it comes to iron donates 2 electrons to it, so we can call it as iron 2 sulfate. Likewise, when it comes to iron 3 oxides, it is Fe2O3. When it comes to O3, they will be accepting, oxygen accepts 2 electrons from this guy, and that 3 electrons over here. Since there are 3 oxygen atoms, one iron can donate 3 electrons, other can as well donate 3. That is why they can satisfy this O3. You should be clear that iron or the transition elements, they are able to have multiple valencies on them. That is why this way we can take benefit of this valency and we can merge them. Okay, calcium carbonate is here. CaCO2 is available. This is calcium, is carbon, is oxygen. This CO3 is called as carbonate molecule. Um, Okay, the additional point is that in IGCSE we have memorized when it comes to carbon dioxide, when it comes to the carbon containing structure, we can identify them. Because they, whenever carbon dioxide is released from an element, it is going to be separated from a mixture. It is going to give rise to carbon dioxide, and ultimately it will give you the white colored fumy appearance. Next point over here is that writing an equation from a description is that you will need to convert words into formulae and decide which one are the reactants and which one are the products, or how we can use them. Obviously, the left side elements, like over here, they are the reactants. The right side of here are the products. Now, simply, how can we crack this reaction? Let's say if they will not give you this product, how can you crack it down? Simply, when it comes to calcium carbonate, that contain carbon containing structure, and simply those carbon containing structure they will give you white fumy appearance, showing that it contains carbon containing structures. Now, the wording of the description makes it clear that the carbon dioxide and calcium hydroxide are the reactant molecules, and that calcium carbonate and water are the products. Now you have to write the formulae for the correct position so that you can balance them correctly as well. Carbon dioxide and calcium hydroxide, at the end they will give rise to calcium carbonate. This is going to be the most usual product. When calcium and carbons are available, they will straight away combine together and they will give you the white fumy appearance, because it is CO. In this case, the carbon dioxide over here is available. The next step is how can you balance them. You need to add up the numbers. You need to see how many reactants and products are available. How can you add them or spare them? Okay, there you can see that here is the carbon dioxide available. Now, how can you see this carbon dioxide? You can simply see this carbon dioxide, or even you can count its number. This carbon dioxide there is one carbon over here, one carbon on the reactant side, and one carbon over here on the product side. As well as when it comes to hydrogen, two hydrogens are here, two hydrogens are the product. These two are balanced. When it comes to oxygen, oxygens got balanced. You can see there are three oxygens over here. One is attached to the oxygen. Why is there one oxygen attached with the water, because with the hydrogen? Because it contains, or that oxygen carries the -2 charge onto it, and when it carries the negative charge onto it, one oxygen can satisfy the valency of two hydrogen atoms. Likewise, when it comes to the calcium is able to donate two electrons. The charge on calcium atom would be +2, and when it comes in combination with the carbon, like this carbon containing structure, the CO2, the carbonate ion, the charge on it would be -2, because it is able to accept the 2 electrons from the calcium. Okay, now let's see how the authors refers over here. Okay, so hydrogen, and oxygen atoms on each side. So the equation is already balanced. Here is an example where the first equation you wrote is not balanced. Okay, simply when it comes to hydrogen peroxide, you should be clear that if there is a 2 next to this water molecule, this is hydrogen peroxide. When it comes to H2O, it is simply straight away the water molecule. A simple number will entirely change the compound or molecule. Okay, when we decompose it, oxygen, the extra attached oxygen will be dissociating. It will be separating from the molecule, and here is water and oxygen separated. Now this is already balanced for hydrogen, but not for oxygen. Since you can see two hydrogens were available earlier, and now again there are two hydrogens are available as well again. Okay, next thing came out to be is that with the careful practice, we sometimes involves guessing until you make it right. Okay, so it's not necessary. I would recommend you to make a straight away practice. Lots of balancing equation practices are available. You can focus on it, or even you can type your or send your image in the chat box. We will check it. Here comes to the hydrogen peroxide. The decomposition will spare the oxygen. Now, when it comes to the counting down their number, the best idea is to first see metal, then you can refer to the non-metal, any other non-metal except then oxygen. The third step should be balancing oxygen. At the very end, you can balance the number of hydrogens. Okay. So here comes the 2H2O2. Two water molecules, 2 is earlier than water molecule. Let's count their number. 2 2s are 4. 4 hydrogens are over here. 4 oxygens are available. So 2 oxygens are here. If we place this number, any number earlier than then a molecule will be multiplied with the everything present inside a molecule. Here comes the 4 hydrogen atoms, and here comes the 2 oxygen atoms. That is how we can balance this equation. Most equations are balanced by using the whole number, but the best ideal practice is to start from the very basic number, the small number, which will help you to crack down the equation gradually until you got expert in the balancing of equation. So here is then unbalanced equation available. Let's complete it. But first concept I would like to give you, whenever a hydrocarbon comes in contact with the oxygen, the two most common products are carbon dioxide plus water molecule. They will always end up with the carbon dioxide plus a water molecule. Okay, here comes, there are 4 carbons at the reactant side, but there is 1 carbon on the product side. Concept is same again, balance non-metal for any non-metal except then oxygen first, so we will balance it. Let us try to place 4 over here first. First you need to place 4 over here. Okay, by placing 4 over here we could have balanced the equation. Okay, next thing would be referring to water molecule hydrogen, they are 10. We can place 5 over here, but in this case we will have to learn this attitude of placing some whole numbers 6.5, but it will complexify the case. You will not be able to balance the equation. So let's jump to the concept they are trying to give us. Let's balance oxygen first. Here are 2 oxygens, here are 3 oxygens. Okay, now getting back to the equation, let's place 2 earlier than this guy. Why? Because we have to bring the numbers into the even numbers. Converting the odd numbers into even will help you to balance the equation. Since there are 3 oxygen atoms available and we are not relying on it, since they will complexify the equation, we will convert both the sides into an even numbers. Okay, let us place directly 13 over here, so it makes it 26 oxygens available. Let us place 8 over here, let's place 2 over here, and at the end you're gonna place 10 over here. That will balance the equation like an odd even concept. Okay, so we have learned this equation, although that was general, we didn't practice it greatly, but simple thing we can learn is that you can balance the equation by simply replacing the unstable or unbalanced equation into the whole numbers. Okay. Next thing is using state symbols. Here comes the solid. Solid is obviously represented by S. Liquid is L. Why are we going to use this L? Okay, this is referring to the liquid. When a compound or when a solute is available in the liquid form, we will use the symbol L, just like water. Okay, now when it comes to the gas, it's G. Aqueous is always given. Why? When particular solution, when a particular substance or solute is soluble in water, we will use the term AT. Let's say I have a salt and I dissolve it in water, we will write it as AQ. So AQ is aqua, referring to water. But if I use suddenly ethanol, I will not use AQ, because AQ or aqueous is specific for water. If AQ is given, they will penalize you, they will deduct your marks. So always try to write L for the other solvents but not for water. Although it sounds good practice to state all the symbols, but in other cases you can somehow omit it. But if you feel that examiner mentioned it, you should be clear about it. So here's another description. When aqueous solution of the silver nitrate and calcium carbonate, calcium chloride are mixed together, a white precipitate of silver chlorides are available. What are they? The white precipitate simply refers to when two soluble substances mixed together, they give rise to an insoluble thick layer right over the surface of the solution. This is called as silver chloride solution, precipitate. Now we can differentiate the elements on the basis or identify the elements on the availability of that precipitate color. Again, here comes the given equation, how they have balanced it. Here comes the silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is having, okay, just place 2. This is like AgCl is the simplest molecule to balance. Why? Because Cl is always diatomic, so you should be placing 2 over here, so that the chlorine over here is balanced, as well as this guy, if it names 2 or we place 2 over here, it will be also balanced. Calcium stays 1, so over here it is as it is available as 1. But when it comes to the calcium nitrate, this molecule is also available as when it comes to calcium. So this portion is particularly referring that every element is taking, every molecule even is taking 1 electron from the calcium. Okay, over here when it comes to the silver nitrate, since it is diatomic, we have to place 2 earlier than that of the silver. Okay, arrows in the equation, we are well aware that one step arrows are pointed always like right hand side, converting from reactant to the products. However, reversible arrows are very clear. We are already clear with it. I think no need to mention this thing. Okay, next concept over here refers to the ionic equation. This thing we will see in the next class. Till then, if you feel any doubt, any confusion, feel free to hit like button, drop us message in the comment. And if you want online classes, some description details are given in the description. You can contact us. Good luck.